This is the Business of Leadership Series Minute with your host, the best-selling author of Don't Buy a Duck and founder of MarketingStrategyHero.com, Derek Champagne.
Our guest today is Morgan Wright. Morgan's an internationally recognized expert on cybersecurity strategy, cyberterrorism, identity theft, and privacy, and his landmark testimony before Congress on healthcare.gov even changed how the government collected personally identifiable information. Morgan, welcome to the program today.
Hey, Derek, thank you for having me on.
Morgan, can you talk to us about end of days, the threat of terrorism to local infrastructure? What do you mean by that?
Yes, this is something I think that has been underreported, not unreported, but underreported. But I did a segment on Fox News. In fact, they brought me back a week later because of the significance of it. We were talking about it. But it's called, I'll give you an example. Back in Ukraine in December of 2015, right before Christmas, 80,000 homes went offline and the call center was flooded with a denial of service attack as the first real demonstration that we've heard of the dark energy malicious software that is designed to attack what's called industrial control systems. In this case, it went after the energy grid in Ukraine. So now you're thinking Ukraine, not necessarily, Cancun during the winter, 80,000 people offline. And now the insidious part is they even did a denial of service against the call center so the people couldn't call in and tell them something was wrong to the people at the plant. They thought everything was fine. So anytime when it's serious enough that the Department of Homeland Security sends a team over there to learn what happened, this isn't, if this is just some minor threat, they just say, just email it, mail it in. But the DHS sent an entire team over there. And this is our critical infrastructure, our electrical grid is not as robust as people think. It's a collection of smaller operators. It has been built over the years. And basically it's fragile in the sense is that when you think what happened in Ohio, when that one transformer in Ohio and that station went down, it took out basically half the East Coast. People in New York were knocked out. Right. So it doesn't matter why it happens. When it happens, then what we're faced with is an increase of 911 calls. Public safety cannot respond to every potential situation. People are stuck in elevators. You have increased heart attacks from a variety of things. You've got increased call for service. So you can generate a lot of issues. And I'll tell you, the critical infrastructure, 85% of the critical infrastructure in the United States, 80 to 85 is owned by the private sector. So that means these power stations, water stations, roads, a lot of these things are not owned by the government. Transportation companies, they're owned by private sector. So trying to get that kind of collaboration across all of these industries has become very tough. As we just found out with the auto industry, they finally got serious about cybersecurity after something I warned about 2 years ago, talking about how you can actually start controlling cars now because of the modules in there. 2 years later, that's actually a Fox News segment. It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. We said, can Al-Qaeda really hack your car? Well, one of the car blogs out there called Jalopnik just beat me up all over it. Oh, be careful, Morgan Wright. Somebody's going to take over your Camaro. Well, they weren't laughing when two DARPA researchers put a editor from Wired magazine in there, and then they drove that Jeep into a ditch. Then all of a sudden the automotive industry goes, oh, Sakura Blue, we are being attacked. We must do something, Wow. Well, guys, that's the same way I feel about critical infrastructure and the energy grid. You've been slapped across the head with a dead fish. That stinks. When are you going to realize it and do something about it?
Derek Champagne here. So many exciting things happening in 2019. Join us. Visit DerekChampagne.com.